So you've decided to become a martial arts master. We can respect the hustle, but don't focus on the meta, or you'll miss all that heavenly glory. Hey, it's Game Rant, and here are the 10 best fighting games for beginners, ranked. Number 10, Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising. Launching in December of 2023, Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising is a follow-up to a relative fighting game newcomer, and a franchise that is now expanding into multiple genres with Relink. Rising keeps the gameplay slow, simple, and deliberate with low, medium, and high attacks, and special moves which can be performed as easily as 2 buttons pressed together. This puts the emphasis on strategy and reading your opponent, which in truth is the endgame of all fighters. Rising brilliantly removes the barriers to entry. Don't let the crazy anime name distract you, anyone can get into this medieval brawler. And the inclusion of Nier Automata's 2B also earns it extra points. Number 9, Tekken 8. One of the unfortunate truths of fighting games is they start entertaining, but it takes refinement to become essential. Tekken 8, only releasing in January of 2024, will likely expand its roster in several new and exciting ways, and we can't wait. But as it stands, this has several lifelines for new players, including a special control scheme which allows button mashers to get a passing education on the pros and cons of each character. It also helps that Tekken 8 is a rock-solid 3D brawler with an emphasis on aggression via the Rage Art system, but we do think the special control system could use a bit more of the aforementioned refinement, as any Tekken player worth their salt will quickly dismantle the predictable combos. But still, Tekken 8 is off to a very strong start. Number 8, Dead or Alive 5 Last Round. Somehow, Dead or Alive 5 has been pushing past a decade and its own sequel, Dead or Alive 6. It could be with how gosh darn good Last Round has been since 2015, but we think it's far more likely the free-to-play distribution which has kept it active. It features the signature rock, paper, scissors gameplay and a boatload of characters. Well, except for the temporary guest character Mai. Look, it was a rights issue and it's complicated, but the DOA gameplay is not, allowing players to master their characters' rhythms with ease. Plus, as mentioned, it has a free version, which if you should enjoy enough is a great start for DOA 6 should you continue. Number 7, Guilty Gear Strive. Calling Guilty Gear Strive anything less than complex would be a lie. This is a game from Arc System Works, so of course there's enough depth here to choke a hitbox. But Strive is flashy and fast enough to make a fan out of any new player, as it freely switches from 2D to 3D visuals. But most importantly to this entry, it has an excellent tutorial mode, which explains the mechanics while also giving players a breezy look at the extended Guilty Gear storyline, which is, well, it's the sort of story where a guy named Saul Bad Guy is the good guy, so it has just a bit of personality. Number 6, Injustice 2. We're going to talk a lot about the IP for this game, but before we do, it should be said that Injustice 2, DC Comics licensed game or not, is a superb fighter from the makers of Mortal Kombat. And even if you've been hit with the dreaded superhero fatigue, we want to emphasize, this entry is for the brutal, over-the-top, easy-to-learn rhythm pugilism. Cool? Cool. But man, you get to play as Swamp Thing! Injustice 2 is sight unseen a perfect adaptation of the comic series. But look a little closer and you'll see how thoughtfully each character's pre-established powers were balanced. Everybody loves a little bit of Capcom fighters every now and again, but if you're looking for in-universe accuracy, Injustice 2 and its gameplay is a step above. Number 5, Mortal Kombat 1. Oh, you can feel the fighting sticks being put aside for the comments section. Yes, Mortal Kombat 11 was a superb game, even if it didn't start that way. And if we're talking EVO finals, sure, let's dig up NK11. But this is a list for newcomers to fighting games, and it's clear the developers over at NetherRealms went above and beyond to deliver a more condensed and legible version of Mortal Kombat. You'll get a sizable story mode and some of the most visually dense graphics of this generation, and we've already seen this scenario play out a few times, so you can expect ample support in the years to come as Mortal Kombat 1 eventually becomes the fan favorite, and the next game is decried. It's the fighting game cycle. Get used to it. Number 4, Tekken 7. Yeah, it's a little awkward going from that example to Tekken 7 instead of Tekken 8. But let's break down the rationale. Tekken 8 has some extra easy story modes and even a special mode for button mashers to see what a character is all about. All wonderful additions. But as we previously mentioned, the special controls aren't quite ready, and using them can perhaps teach some bad habits at the moment. Meanwhile, Tekken 7 has been polished to a fine sheen and can be easily picked up with all of its DLC on sale. Not to mention, Tekken 8's focus on aggression offense is a response to Tekken 7's more balanced style. Plus, Tekken 7 has Akuma, so it had to be higher up. Sorry, that's science. Number 3, Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. Let's cut right to the point. The end tail of Power Rangers Battle for the Grid is not tremendously long. The gameplay is relatively basic, and you won't be able to transfer these skills to other fighting games. But Battle for the Grid is undeniably accessible and fun, and over several expansions has become quite a respectable fighter in its own right, including bonus characters of fighting game royalty like Ryu and Chun-Li from Street Fighter. If you're struggling to make headway in a fighting game, forget about all that skill and smash and tag to your heart's delight in this homage to 90s Power Rangers. Number 2, Dragon Ball FighterZ. Here it is, folks, the best dang button masher ever. Oh, I know what you're thinking. Game Rant, Dragon Ball FighterZ has been shown to be an excellent game on a competitive level and bridge between platform brawlers and real-deal fighting games. And sure, that's all true. Dragon Ball FighterZ took the auto combos as far as they could seemingly go with chaotic laser blasts and earth-shattering super attacks. You absolutely do not need to be a fan of Dragon Ball to enjoy the general gameplay. Within a matter of seconds, any player will be creating a smoking crater where Goku's face once was. Plus, it has a story that lets Yamcha shine, and we've had up to here with that Yamcha slander. Number 1, Street Fighter 6. After several years lost in the woods known as Street Fighter V, the Street Fighter franchise returned with its boldest entry since perhaps the invention of combos deep within Capcom's labs. Bold claims we know, but the modern control scheme is so perfect, distilling the role of a character within the roster to push-button moves and easy combos. It puts new players nearly at the level of longtime combatants, and it serves as an excellent education into 2D fighting games in general, because when you're ready, the classic 6 buttons and a stick will be there for you to learn and complete your mastery. Plus, yes, it has an excellent and extensive single-player mode where you make your own ridiculous fighter. Who knows what the future brings for Street Fighter 6, but today, it is the best fighting game for beginners, and it wasn't even close. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this list. You ready to throw some fists? Well, let's start with clicking around here on Game Rant, and we'll see you next time.